Hey everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Plotty Time. I'm here with Chump Slap.
Hey, what's going on?
This week, you can tell it's not a video game we're talking about because we're talking about a movie because of scheduling problems. Dr. Scientist isn't here. Let's cue that theme music.
Are you kidding me? The guy asked for something spooky.
Is it a gun that sucks balls?
I'm the farting demon in this relationship.
I'd be an awesome rich person.
You're both just an embarrassment.
God, I'm awesome.
We're talking Tom Hanks and his vehicle.
Yeah, I had my finger in my mouth waiting for you to finish.
get 4 balls or something?
Like dick piercings?
No, you know damn well I'm fucking that demon.
Still sexy.
How could that be close and not be
Yeah,
right?
just kill some random dude.
His wishes.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another fun time, super great, amazing episode of Plotty Time Watches.
Everyone's favorite.
Everyone loves these. We've heard a lot of people in the comments saying that they want to hear more of these, and we're trying, guys.
Yeah,
we're
we really are.
trying. But this week, we are going to talk about a video game movie, as you can tell by the description, and that video game movie is the 2005, I dare say not mediocre.
No, not even.
Not even mediocre. I was going to say meteoric. Meteoric?
Meteoric, like it crashed really hard to the earth.
Maybe just the fucking undisputed classic of 2005.
What everybody
Doom.
knows Carl Urban from.
Do they? It was nice to see him in this. He was the best part of this movie.
Yeah, I totally didn't remember him in it until I watched it. I was like, what the fuck?
No, me neither. I was like, what's Dredd doing here? Oh, okay. But yeah, so this movie, it was released October 21st, 2005. Dropped into the box office. It was a bomb. It grossed 58.7 million worldwide, and the production budget was about 60 to 70 million.
They spent 70 million on this.
Somehow, they sure did. I don't know where it all went, but
No.
yeah. So the people we just talked, the stars of the film, Carl Urban, we just talked about him. Rosamund Pike is in it. She's a very big actress these days. And then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is probably the next one.
Yeah. There was a guy who looked like he should have been cast as LL Cool J.
Duke, yeah. What's his name?
Yeah. Razad something.
Razadoti.
Yeah.
Razakadoti.
Razak, yeah.
British actor. I didn't recognize him from anything, but he's been in quite a few films here. He was in Black Hawk Down. He was in Amistad.
Oh, okay.
And then still working today. Last thing he did was Choices in 2010. So good for him. He's doing a lot of TV too.
Good on him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's out here working.
Right.
But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has obviously blown up since then. I don't think it's his first film.
Probably not.
I think his first film was that one with John Travolta.
What?
Yeah, the one. Oh man, what is it called?
I have no idea.
I'm looking it up.
Now I have to look. Son of a bit.
And it's hard to go through his filmography because it's so much fucking wrestling bullshit.
Yeah, Be Cool.
Be Cool, that's what it was, with John Travolta.
Yeah, that might have been his first one. These both came out the same year.
Oh, did they? Be Cool and this were both 2005?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah, he was in The Mummy Returns and The Scorpion King and The Rundown and Walking Tall. So he was like on his way to being a movie star.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, he was in Reno 911 Miami in 2007? No shit.
Yeah. He dies like right in the beginning.
Nice.
He accidentally kicks a grenade and he's like, I got this. Don't worry about it. Just blows up.
Yeah, he been in a lot of movies. He's a very famous person. He's one of the most famous people in the world at this point.
Yeah, right.
Any movie he's in makes a lot of money. He's a brand now, much less, I mean, he's a person too, but
He is a person.
he's a person. The film was directed by Andrzej Bartkowiak. I'm sure I butchered that. I'm sorry. But you can go look at his work. He's actually more well-known, got his chops, so to speak, being a cinematographer.
Oh, yeah?
Some of the movies he worked on were huge. He did the cinematography in Speed. He
Oh,
did
shit.
Dante's Peak, The Devil's Advocate. That's a Plotty Time favorite.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It seemed like right when he was hitting his stride doing big budget movies as a cinematographer, like 13 Days or Lethal Weapon 4, he's like, yeah, I want to direct and I want to make bad action movies. So he started his career with Romeo Must Die in 2000. He did the film, I'm just going to call it a film. That's the best word I can use to describe it. Exit Wounds, starring Steven Seagal and DMX.
Damn. He did fucking Falling Down. Cinematography.
That's a great one. I've missed
Yeah.
that one. But he's also directed Cradle to the Grave before this, then Doom. He did The Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li, which is pretty much forgotten.
Yeah, it is.
And then he made a Russian movie called Maximum Impact, and then another movie called Dead Reckoning. So he's still out here working too. Good for him.
Good on him.
But this movie, though. Let's just get into it. The movie Doom, it's based on the video game series Doom. At this point in 2005, I believe all we had for this lore was, the original 2 PC games, Doom and Doom 2. And I think Doom 3 had come out for the PC.
Yeah, probably.
I don't remember playing. Did you ever play Doom 3?
No. I've only ever played the first one and the newest new ones.
Yeah, I think Doom 3 is the only one I missed. But from what I've read and what I understand, and people correct us in the subreddit if we're wrong, and by we, I mean me, I think that Doom 3 was more of a stealthy survival horror in the dark type game.
Oh, really? That doesn't sound
And they
right.
No, it doesn't sound right for a Doom game. Doom is blood, guts, hell demons. Those are the 3 things you have to have. Huge weapons. Those 4 things.
Right.
Make any Doom movie, any Doom property, and this movie had almost none of those.
It had blood, I guess.
And it had the one big weapon when that shows up. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
But so we start in the year 2046, and back 20 years prior to this, in the year 2026, so a couple years from now, they're going to find what's called the Ark. And it is can you explain the Ark to these people in the best way you possibly can?
From what I gathered, it's a floating glob,
right?
Silver, and when you turn it on somehow, I don't know how they figured out how to turn it on, you can get sucked into it, kind of like a little black hole, and you get spit out on Mars.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating that they've had this for 20 years and really don't know much about it.
Yeah, they don't know shit.
There was some kind of scientific work done to make this more stable because the one dude, Pinky, doesn't have legs because they got transported God knows where.
Oh, yeah.
Which I find fascinating because that kind of means that there's other openings or other places you can travel to.
Yeah, so how did they just direct it to the one place all the time?
That's a great question that we're never gonna learn the answer to.
They don't go into it.
But like Chump Slap said, the idea is you go into this lockdown facility in Nevada, you go to the basement, you hop in this orb that sucks you in and blasts you to Mars in seconds, and I guess makes everyone sick and throw up.
Yeah, it definitely makes you throw up.
And that's all we really get about the Ark. But so these people are running through the facility. They're getting attacked. There's a Dr. Carmack, which was a nice little nod to John Carmack.
Who's that?
One of the presidents of id Software, one of the makers of Doom. So that was a little nod to him, which I thought was nice. So I was like, all right, we're on the right track.
Yeah, so far so good.
He closes the door like right before this lady's about to like get into it and be safe. Something's attacking them. Something's chasing them. She gets killed. Her arm gets severed in the door.
Of course.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah, very promising start.
And then he issues quarantine procedures and something busts through the door.
Oh, poor guy.
Credits. So that's like the cold open. And had you seen this movie before you just watched it for this?
I have seen it before, but I didn't remember anything about it because nothing stands out. It's not, I don't know.
No,
It's not
same
memorable.
Here. Same here. I watched the entire thing. I know I saw it back when it came out in 2005 or 6 or 7, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Don't remember anything. Just remembered not really liking it.
Yeah. I remember walking away being like, that wasn't it.
Yeah, that wasn't Doom.
No, not at all.
But we'll get to it. All the things wrong with this. We absolutely will.
Right on.
But Rock receives this order. He's a sergeant. He receives this order to basically go to the facility on Mars. There are 85 human beings there, a bunch of workers who are just, they're in trouble. Some kind of quarantine thing was released. There's an alert. And basically he just gets the mission parameters to search and destroy if necessary.
Right.
We don't hear the whole call, but basically the Rock is being sent to preserve the data that's there from the site.
And quarantine, whatever.
Quarantine, whatever it is. If you can kill it, that's nice and all. But really, you're there to get the data.
Yeah, just for the information.
Now, the Rock heads to his squad. They are all, I don't know why they're still there, but they're about to take a massive, awesome vacation.
Oh, they were there because the transporter was late.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Were they in Nevada? Is that where they were?
I think so. I don't remember.
But the Rock comes out, cancels leave. Everyone's pissed. They're part of the Rapid Response Tactical Squad, which is not a great name. No. But I don't know if that's even in any of the Dooms.
I don't know. I don't think so. I thought he was a space marine.
Yeah, I assume so too. I guess they're definitely military. The Rock tells Reaper, who is played by Carl Urban, who I will probably refer to as Carl Urban from here on out.
Yeah, I have Carl Reaper, all of them written in my stupid notes.
Yeah, all of them down. We'll go over the team. Who do we got here?
We got Reaper. We got Duke, which is the Razak guy. We got Portman, which is the guy from that Barbarian movie.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he was the guy that was doing the shopping.
Oh, he was in Mandy. Man, this guy gets work. He has his name's Richard Colin Brake. He has a very creepy vibe.
Yes. Very like Edge of Sanity vibe.
Yeah, but still kind of keeping it together.
Yeah.
Like
right.
enough to function.
And then we got Goat.
Right, Goat.
And then the kid.
Yeah, the new guy, of course, because you got to have a new guy.
Yep, rookie. Mac, the Asian man. And Destroyer, who's just
Destroyer.
doesn't really stand out.
No, he does not. Destroyer and Duke also supposedly grew up together.
Oh, yeah, they were like good friends. You can tell that.
Yeah, they mentioned in the thing. And then you also got Pinky, which Marcus Pinzerowski is his character name.
Oh, shut up. Is that...
Yeah, but Pinky's a reference to the demons in Doom. Like, it was a reference.
Fuck. I never even caught his name. But then when I saw him, when he turned into a demon, I was like, that kind of looks like a Pinky, but not really, because Pinkies are huge.
Yeah, they're very strange because, like, the imps didn't look exactly like the imps. Like, all the character design was taken from Doom 3, which, again, I didn't play much of.
Okay.
But a lot was taken from there. So we got our squad. Their leave's been canceled. And then The Rock tells Reaper, Carl Urban, he's like, hey, I know you got some baggage at Mars. They don't go into detail right now what it is, but he's like, I know you got some baggage. Why don't you just sit this one out?
Yeah, he's like, fuck it.
At first he's like, and then right as the transport chopper's about to go off, he just jumps on and he's now going on the mission.
This movie foreshadows so much shit that's just it's so bad. Because you're like, who's this fucking lady on this base? Now we got to find out.
Yeah, and I still don't understand why their weapons are on the chopper. Like, why would they all be on the helicopter? You know what? That's a little. If we're gonna nitpick that, we're gonna be here all day. So they get to the Ark, the facility. They take the elevator down. There's a lot of foreshadowing the rookie's death, like left and right, like a lot of it. And they get on the platform. The blob blasts them to Mars. This is mostly like a scene to show us the space and the people, and give us a little exposition of how this shit works. Doesn't matter. None of it really makes sense. I'm already. There's a thing that immediately transferred you to Mars. Fine. Like, I don't need to dwell on how this all works. But they blast through the thing. They meet Pinky. He is the guy that lost his legs before they perfected the whole travel thing. He's actually played by a very accomplished British actor named Dexter Fletcher.
Yes, he looked familiar, but I couldn't think of a single thing he was in.
The thing I mostly remember him from was Band of Brothers, but like every British actor was in that. But
he's from Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah, and he directed Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh shit!
So
well, good on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's out here working. He's very prolific. He's been in a billion things. He's a really big that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've seen a picture of him or saw him in the movie, you'd be like, oh yeah, that guy. I know who that guy is. Oh, he was in Below. Do you remember that one? You know, we're not gonna. It's basically a World War II ghost movie on a submarine, which is awesome. But it was awesome when I saw it in 2002. I hope it's still good.
Gonna have to watch it again.
Gonna have to add it to the list.
Right.
And then they meet Pinky on the other side. And I wrote in my notes, I didn't expect this many people to still be like walking around hanging out.
Yeah. There's like 80 some people, they say, something like that.
And it's like they're just walking around doing their jobs. There's like whole families that are living at this facility. Yeah. And I was expecting more of a, can we get the fuck out of here because something's wrong vibe, rather than that's happening. That's like being at a mall and be like, oh, that's on the other side. That's on the JCPenney side. Don't even fucking
it's
worry
like they
about
just locked down JCPenney. Everything else is still good, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because there's one road, one airlock in and one out. So the thing can't go anywhere. It's locked down.
Right.
So they say. Mm-hmm. Also, how'd they get all this fucking shit to build this facility to Mars? Do they just throw it in the fucking transporter and it blasts out on the other side? Or
I assume so, because inanimate objects go through. So why not?
They do. They walk up with their guns all the time.
Yeah. They have clothing on when they get through. So
So there's just a fucking weird thing in the middle of a field. Also, how many people did they send through before they're like, you need air or something? Because we're in the middle of Mars.
Yeah. Like, what was the first thing they sent through? A little fucking drone? I'd want to know all about this.
Yeah, I want to see the movie about them discovering the thing and then accidentally being sent to hell, which didn't happen in this movie, which it should have.
No, there were no demons at all. There was just some religious talk by a crazy man.
A guy who wasn't even a demon.
No.
Yet. None of them are demons. I just kept writing demon in my note because I was like, this is Doom. They're demons. Like, what are we doing here?
No.
Turns out they're not. Rosamund Pike shows up. She's a doctor on the facility. I thought that she had some history with Carl Urban, which she does. And then Duke's like, I can't believe you let a woman like that go.
Yeah.
And Urban's like, no, that's my sister.
Yeah, what a fucking letdown. You know, it's like, oh, that's his ex and he has to work with her again. Oh, here we go. Nope.
That would have been like more tension. Yeah. It would have been rewarding if they got back together at the end.
Yeah, right.
Like I thought it should have been like, right. Like it in a dumb action movie like this, that should have been his ex.
Yeah, it definitely makes more sense.
And if people are worried that we're going to get into too many cliches, well, we blew past this so long ago that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
At some point, like if your whole movie's made of cliches, you need some cliches to be the glue to make sense of this fucking bridge.
That is deep.
And the one that they should have added, they didn't, was the ex. It doesn't matter. So she gives them the rundown, and I just wrote in my notes and wonders why she is in this movie.
Yeah.
She did go on later to apologize for this film. But
Really?
she did, but she didn't say like, oh, it was so bad. I'm so sorry. It was bad. She basically came out. I'm paraphrasing. You can go look up her quotes if you want, people out there. But she basically said, I took the acting job. I didn't know anything about Doom. That was wrong. Like this series meant a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So she's like, I wish I would have like dove in and understood what Doom was to get a better idea. And she's like, I apologize for that. Like I should have done the fans better.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I thought that was really like huge of her to say that, because she probably got a lot of shit like, that wasn't Doom, blah, blah, blah. She probably got a lot of shit for no reason.
Yeah, just for doing her job.
Exactly, getting hired to be in a movie and act, which is her job, not to memorize everything that Doom was. But
yeah, right.
She opens the security door, lets the army guys into the lab / I put hell house, but it's not hell. I thought it would be revealed it was hell. So there's hell in my notes and demons a lot.
Yeah, you think there was going to be another portal there that brought you to hell or something, right?
I was thinking, in my mind, what would have made sense is if it was like a triangle. Like, one goes from Earth to Mars, one goes from Mars to hell, one goes from Earth to hell.
Yeah.
The movie could have been them accidentally opening that Earth to hell one, which would have been all. There's so many ways this would have been more awesome.
Yeah, it would have opened it for a sequel.
Yeah, which they made anyway in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
I saw and really don't remember anything about it. I just remember there being the portal, and I remember not liking it.
Really?
That's all I remember about it.
I'm going to have to watch it.
Might have been inebriated. But they start going to the facility with Portman and not Knight. What's that other guy's name?
Duke? Kid?
Not Duke, not
Mac.
Kid.
Mac.
Goat. the one you didn't mention. Portman and Goat, they go to check out the lab. Their job is, like, at this point, basically, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson starts laying down what everybody's orders are. I will say it kind of does feel like a military mission. He's like, you two do this, you two do this, you two do this. We're getting the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, we're here to do this. Let's do our job. Let's go.
Which, I mean, so far in this movie, I'm on board. I'm like, let's get to the fucking action. But I'm still on board.
Yeah.
They get to Carmack's office. Carl Urban and Rosamund Pike check out the archaeological dig site. She starts downloading records. So she's there to basically, she's not there in a military capacity. She's there to copy all the files of the computer and get out.
Yeah, like she's the only one who could do that.
That's a good point.
She's
Like
the only one that knows how to use a fucking flash drive.
I mean, even the dudes, the SEALs that took over Osama bin Laden and killed him, they knew enough to know what a fucking hard drive was and put it in a bag and leave. Anybody, they can't figure out how to plug it in and say, copy this. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So after this, the movie, it felt so long.
Yeah, it did.
was an hour and 45 minutes. It felt like 6 hours. And I think this is part of the reason, like, when you have like 100 2-minute scenes.
Oh, yeah.
It just, like, we had so many of them cutting around to like the split up groups and just checking in on them, seeing everything they're doing.
Yeah, it was kind of unnecessary, but.
And it was just, it felt so long. So now we automatically cut to The Rock and Duke, and they find the armory.
Oh.
And that's where The Rock sees like an experimental weapon section, and he's like, I want to get in there, which might have been part of his job to get the data. I don't remember if they mentioned any secret weapons or anything.
I don't think so. I think his job was just to quarantine and get the information that Susan needed.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't resist the BFG sitting there, the Bioforce gun.
Right, the Bioforce gun. But I also noticed on the locker, I don't know if we noticed it here later in the film, but there's a code on the locker to that room that says IDKFA.
Oh, really?
Does that mean anything to you?
Id kicks fucking ass.
I think that's what it's supposed to mean, but it's a cheat code for Doom. You type it in on your keyboard,
Yeah. Okay.
and it gives you like full power, full weapons, full everything to kick ass.
Yeah, God
So
mode.
it makes sense that that's what it stands for. God mode, yeah. So then we get another cut to the kid getting spooked by some vents, and Destroyer gives him shit. He shoots at some vents that go. Again, we get that he's a kid and he's a little rattled. We don't need to see this scene. Like, I think
Well,
we could have cut.
because Destroyer gives him fucking some type of green pill drugs.
Was that? No, that was later, I think.
Is
Portman
it?
gives him the drugs.
Oh, all right.
I think so. It really, like, we'll have another scene with the kid. But they get to the lab. We're back in the lab. And Rosamund Pike is telling Carl Urban that they were digging. They found a bunch of humanoid skeletons. Mm-hmm. And this is where we first get, like, there is a chromosome number 24.
Right.
I guess all humans have 23. This humanoid thing has 24. And this 24th chromosome is essentially the superhero chromosome.
Yep. Makes you fucking Superman.
And she said the line, I actually wrote this down. Maybe if you had that, you'd, she says something like to the offense of, maybe you could have been living your life looking down a microscope rather than a sniper scope.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, someone was so fucking proud of writing that line. I really bet they were.
We're led to believe that the whole family hated him because he wanted to be a Marine and the rest of the family was scientists.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we hear it in the backstory later. We'll just talk about it now. But supposedly, Carl Urban, Rosamund Pike, their siblings, both of their parents were scientists. They both worked on Mars on this site and were both killed.
Yeah, that's all we know.
Or died, maybe mysteriously, and someone hid it. We don't know. They're just dead on this dig.
Yeah. They don't. I'm really annoyed they didn't go into more of it because they bring it up like 3 or 4 fucking times.
They do, and they don't explain anything about it. They don't go into any details like your parents died here. It's pretty sad, right? And the guy's like, fucking, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
there's one time when Carl Urban's just like staring out a window and like, oh, this is where it happened, huh? Okay, let's go.
yeah, it was just cheap. It was just a cheap way to like make him introspective.
Yeah.
But Carl Urban, being such a good actor, almost sells it.
Almost.
If there was something more interesting to look at out there rather than a fucking walkway in Mars. And I think that's the only look we get of Mars, right? Like, we don't see from outside Mars.
Well, we see they have like one just like that shows the facility like built into a wall, like a big Martian mountain, but that's it.
Man, I missed that. All right. Well, 2 scenes where they show the outside of Mars rather than the facility. But as we're going along, Goat and Porter are now together. They're going to Carmack's lab. They see a bunch of signs of struggle. And I believe this is the moment where they see like a bunch of the animals dead.
Yeah, in the genetics lab.
Which
They were there just a second ago.
Yeah, I like that part. I like the fact that they're like, we were just here, man. Like, that was kind of creepy. I'm like, all right, I'm still kind of on board for this movie, even though there's been some fucking questionable dialogue. Motivations are kind of fucking whatever. The scenery's boring. The outfits are boring. A lot of this is just fucking boring.
It's real boring. Yeah.
They get a runner. It turns out it was Dr. Carmack holding a severed arm. He's just clearly lost his mind. He rips his ear off by himself. He's just like, "What?" And it's off.
Yeah,
it's off of his body. And then they take him back to the med bay, and The Rock is like, well, let's go find the body that arm goes with. And Porter and the kid head to the airlock to protect it because it's like their only way out. So they got to sit there, man the airlock so they can leave if they have to. And this is where the kid's like, I need something to get my head straight.
Oh, yeah.
And then what does he take? I just assumed he took like some uppers, like some meth type thing or some kind of pill that boosts you up. And he's like stoned.
Yeah, he's just out of it. I don't know. He said he needs something to calm him down.
Was that Porter fucking with him?
Like giving him a fucking hard drug instead of what he wanted.
Yeah. Like a real crazy thing instead of some kind of military issued stimulant or depressant or whatever.
I don't know. I really don't know because you never talk about it again.
Porter's kind of a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
And like again, we cycle through scenes so fast. Carl Urban and the goat are moving on. Goat drops a paint gown down the steps and starts cutting himself because he took the Lord's name in vain.
What the fuck was that for?
I have no idea. This is where I wrote in my notes, this guy shouldn't have a gun. Like,
No.
there's no one in the military. Like when you're on mission with someone, I haven't been in the military. I don't know, but I can't imagine if you're on a mission with somebody, the guy next to you says, God damn it, starts rolling up his sleeve and cutting himself because he said the wrong words.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to stand next to that guy.
No, I wouldn't trust him at all.
No. And then
insane.
So the kid and Porter, they continue on. They walk into the room to find a fully naked woman who's clearly possessed or something. She attacks. They kill her. That's it. And then we fast forward to Rosamund Pike and some other scientist and destroyer take Dr. Carmack to a med bay.
Right.
This is another scientist they found in one of the rooms. He wakes up muttering something about it's inside and they need to shut it down. But he's like off his rocker. He's been through some shock, some trauma. Mm-hmm. He's infected, which will apparently there's an infection now in Doom.
Yeah, because that's what it's about.
That's what this movie's about for some reason. But then Carl Urban and the goat, they reach the the lab thing. They find a dude eating all the lab rats who attacks them. They kill him and they're like, hey, we think something weird's happening. Yes. Like this is the moment where they're like, the scientist walking around with the severed arm is not enough of a clue.
We needed to see a guy eating mice.
Yeah. And killing a woman who is completely naked, who is clearly possessed. I guess in this movie, you become zombies, like just regular zombies when you're infected.
Yeah. Well, they were kind of like zombies in the original Doom, right?
Yeah, they were like dead soldiers that were resurrected. I guess, yeah, that's a zombie. What else are you going to call it?
I'll give them that.
So I guess people that were attacked by the monsters but not killed are infected by their fucking tongues that can fly out of their bodies?
Yes, they're detachable tongues.
Which I don't recall from any of the Doom games.
No.
And then I guess the main, for lack of a better word, the main imps, the main demons, the main bad guys, the main devils or whatever, are they people that were injected with the chromosome 24, or are they people that were just infected and it's gone on for so long they completely changed form?
They're the infected.
I'm asking. I don't know.
They're the infected because you find out later that, well, right now in the movie, the scientist guy that was in the med bay just disappears. Nobody knows where he went.
Yeah, Dr. Carmack they look at the bed and he's gone.
Yeah, when you find out later, he turns into one of them. So
yeah, you forgot about the scene where The Rock is shooting at a monkey for no fucking reason. There's no reason for this scene to exist.
Oh yeah,
like it wasn't even funny or equipped. It just didn't. No. That's another jump scare that went nowhere.
Yeah.
And then Carl Urban and Porter, they chase a monster into a sewer. Everyone gets in the sewer.
Yeah, they all just team up in the sewer. They're like, we found it. Let's go.
But everybody's in the sewer. And then this is where I wrote in my notes, God, this movie is slow.
Sure was. This is like only 45 minutes into it.
This is like 45 minutes in, and we saw that opening action sequence.
Yeah.
We saw them kill a naked lady immediately and another zombo guy like in seconds. So there's really no tension there.
No, we see a guy rip his own ear off.
Rip his own ear off and run away and cause him to be scared and a monkey scared. Like, that's it. That's the action we've seen. And this is a fucking Doom movie.
Yeah, exactly.
All you needed, what were the four things? Blood, guts,
fire,
weapons,
demons.
There it is. And no, none of those yet.
No, nothing.
So Goat, this is also where Carl Urban finds out the kid is high.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck's your problem? And then Goat is in the sewer in a section by himself. His light goes out, which is unfortunate. He gets attacked, gets his throat ripped. The tongue goes in the wound.
Yeah, this is where we first see the detachable tongue. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's like writhing around. And then this is where Carl Urban was luckily able to punch the demon in the face.
Yeah, thank God.
So the next thing we see is they're running through the lobby, pulling the dead body of one of the demons and screaming, "Get the fuck out!" Like, everybody get out, evacuate, leave this planet now.
Yeah, very calm about it too. That won't cause a panic at all.
Yeah, and everyone's just like, shit. Yeah, I guess I gotta get out of here. This is where The Rock finds out Dr. Carmack is gone, which, like, I know that there has to be a section where they tell The Rock the doctor's gone, or he finds out and then he changes his plan. I understand that. But this is like, there's like 3 scenes where The Rock gets to the party late and we've already seen what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For true.
So again, just making the movie feel fucking longer. And then they show Rosamund Pike, the dead body of the demon. She has no idea what the fuck is happening. She hasn't seen anything like this. She's like, we don't have biological things here. I don't know what this is. And then she starts to dissect it, and then we leave.
Yeah, why not?
And then this is a fun moment too, where Mac, who we haven't been talking about at all, because Mac had been guarding the Ark room pretty much by himself.
Right.
Like, him and all the other people were there, but they're like, Mac, we need you in here. So he gives Pinky a gun and a bunch of grenades. He says, make sure no one gets through that later.
Yeah, this is where the first time they talk about the fucking grenade.
Yeah. They talk about the grenade a lot, and I think they use one.
Yeah. They talk about how powerful it is and how it'll blow everything up, but it's like Chekhov's grenade.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So then Duke and Rosamund Pike have a moment where she shoves her arm down the zombie's throat. And he's hitting on her hard. He's giving her the hard sell. She seems like maybe, but not really.
Yeah, she's kind of into it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
but she's like, you know what? Now it's not really
Yeah, right.
to be doing any of that. And then The Rock comes in. He tells the group they're going to the dig site for some reason. I think they're going to get the rest of the data, maybe.
Whoa, the dig site.
Because they didn't get it all. That's the same dig site they reopened, found the humanoid. That's where Carl Urban's parents were killed.
I think actually here he's like, we got to go there because they're like, is there any other way in here? Because they think it's an alien. And they're like, oh, only the original archaeological site. And he's like, well, that's where we got to go then. Make sure no more get in.
Oh, so they go in to shut it down or protect or kill whatever's trying to get in, that sort of thing. Yeah, they're kind of in quarantine mode right now. No one really knows The Rock's hidden objectives, but, you know, I wish I could tell you we're almost done. There's so much movie left.
Oh, there is.
But let's keep rolling through it.
Let's do it.
Duke and Sam almost get killed by this dog that's apparently really mad. I don't know where the dog came from, whose dog it was. It's just a regular dog, but he's growling at him. And then the dog's like, oh, God, and runs away. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And then it turns into one of the imps, the demons. It gets stuck in the nano wall, which is pretty cool.
Actually, nano walls was my favorite part of this whole thing.
Yeah, I like the nano walls. They're essentially like, I don't know how to put it, but it's like a force field that you can just easily walk through, but you hit a button and all of a sudden it becomes a solid like metal door.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So this demon got stuck in it, which you got to think there's some kind of like safety protocols because that shit would be happening like left and right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's why Duke's afraid of him.
Yeah, he doesn't like him. He doesn't like,
He's like, I go in there, man.
He goes through him real fast. He doesn't like it. But Reaper continues on. He gets this weird flashback from back in the day. This is the scene where he's like, is this where it happened? And I wrote in my notes, we still have no idea what shook him. Like, we didn't find out yet.
No, we only know his parents died because Rookie asked him about it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, your parents are dead? Mine are too.
And then out of nowhere, a demon jumps out of a chute and cuts Mac's head off.
Oh, yeah, just smacks it right the fuck off.
Rest in peace, Mac. You were in the movie for 10 seconds.
Great role.
And then it's basically now they realize the threat. 2 of their guys are dead. And The Rock's like, that's it. We are in basically the game of making sure this thing doesn't get to Earth.
Right. Let's talk about the grenade again.
Let's mention the grenade. Then we go past it. And Duke and Sam are still dissecting the demon, which this whole dissecting scene seems very out of place.
Yeah. Like, why are they doing that? Isn't she supposed to just be getting information right now?
Yeah, I don't know why she felt compelled to like sit in the med bay. And like everyone, for some reason, thinks that this medical room is like completely safe.
Yeah.
Even though they just got attacked by a demon. They're like just nonchalant walk around. No one's really on guard. Everyone's just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
It's kind of like their unofficial home base they keep coming back to.
That's safe zone.
And then when we weren't paying attention, Goat's body wakes up as a zombie, comes after Duke and Sam, and just slams its head against the window until it dies. And coincidentally, this is where they find out the demon was human. It has all the human organs in it.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, it was a human. And then she, just out of nowhere, Sam's like, he must have known he was turning, so he killed himself. Yeah.
I don't know how she got there, but
Yeah, right.
more importantly, the next scene is the scene where The Rock is like, okay, it's go time. So he goes back to the advanced section with that severed hand.
Oh, yeah, because there's a DNA lock on it.
Yeah, there's a DNA lock. He uses the severed hand to get in. He picks up the BFG and actually says, big fucking gun.
Yeah. Woo.
Finally. And then I wrote in my notes, okay, let's see where this goes. Turns out he's just got to shoot a bunch of walls with it. One of them off screen.
It's funny because it's true.
Fucking serious? For those of you that don't know, you must have been living under a rock if you somehow missed all of Doom and are listening to this podcast. I don't know how that happened, but the BFG is famous in Doom. It is basically a big thing that sends a green orb out and just kills everything on the screen.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than this gun was, too.
Absolutely it was. But I guess how they got to make it so The Rock can run around with it.
No, there's somebody running around with a fucking 50 cal chain gun. So why not?
Oh, yeah, he's like just poking at fucking
Yeah, he lives in
fucking
grade.
vents with it. That thing's like 60 pounds. Doesn't even have an arm strap. He's walking around like it's made of rubber, which it probably was for the movie, but
It's so bad.
it's fucking dumb. So then he has the gun. We go to Portman. He's like, I gotta take a shit. Him and Destroyer were watching a door. I think it was the airlock. I don't remember, but they were watching a door. Portman goes off to take a dump. Destroyer's like, I wonder what's going on over here. So he walks over and he falls down this huge hole, has a hand-to-hand fight with a demon. He actually falls down the hole twice, which I thought was pretty ridiculous.
When he's trying to climb out and gets pulled back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then falls the length of it again and dies the second time.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt.
There's always the side fucking note of Portman in the shitter. He drops his magazine. He gets killed by a demon in the bathroom. He gets thrown all over the place. Portman's dead. Destroyer's dead. The Rock rolls in to find Destroyer dead, and he takes him and Portman's bodies back to the med bay.
Well, doesn't Destroyer get like pulled through the ceiling and smacked around in a bathroom stall until he dies?
I think that's Portman.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
But yes, they like grab his head. He gets pulled up while he's in a stall. I don't think he's taking shit. I think he was getting the mag at that point.
Yeah.
But they just ragdoll him all around the bathroom.
Yup.
Which, pretty cool scene, but again, too little too late. Jesus Christ.
For real.
And then we keep going on when The Rock brings everybody's body back to the med bay. Again, we have another moment where The Rock finds out about something we've already seen on screen with Goat body being resurrected.
Right.
They're like, whose blood is that? It's Goat's. What do you mean it's Goat's? He was dead. No, he got up and slammed his head. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then she shows him that the imp stuck in the wall was Dr. McCormick the whole time.
Dr. Carmack, yeah.
Carmack, yeah.
So this means, and this is an interesting part because The Rock's like, okay, well, one of the things we were doing is to find all the scientists. 4 of them are dead. One's right here, and one is somewhere. Like, they all know where they all are. So they're like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And The Rock starts getting kind of menacing and keeps pressing Sam about what the hell's actually going on. She's like, I have no idea.
Yeah, he looked like he was ready to hit her.
Yeah. Or like torture or something. And she's like, I have no idea. Like, I'm a forensic anthropologist, which I think is not the term they were looking for.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Too bad scientists in here.
Yeah, wouldn't she just be a forensic scientist? Like, why would she, like, isn't anthropology like the studying of species?
I thought it was the study of like civilizations and stuff. Am I wrong?
The study of the origin and development of human societies and cultures.
Boom.
Which you're correct. So why the fuck is she able or have the ability or the knowledge or the know-how to dissect something?
Yeah, she definitely showed it. That has nothing to do with her studies.
Yeah, that's why, because my wife was like, forensic anthropologist.
Well, it makes sense. Like they're doing research on a dead civilization. So that's why she's there.
That makes sense that there's an anthropologist there.
Yeah.
But she could have just been a forensic scientist that liked anthropology or whatever, or worked with them. It doesn't make sense that she has is an expert in those two disciplines. But
Yeah.
I suppose it's possible someone gets 2 degrees.
Yeah. Well, smart people do a lot of stuff. So
Do they?
in movies.
Yeah, that's a good point. Gonna take their word for it. No one's that smart in real life. Get the fuck out of here. So again, their fight, like she keeps telling him she doesn't know shit about it. Sam keeps shows them a video of Dr. Carmack, and this is a hidden video that she found or whatever, and it shows him injecting the 24th chromosome into like a person, a human being.
A convicted killer at that.
Oh, that's so lame.
Yeah, I know. And this guy that they inject becomes the fucking supposed to be a Hell Knight.
Right. And this is the part I fucking hate about. Well, okay, not yet. We don't get to it yet. But this guy becomes a demon thing. The Rock says they're taking the data back. Carl Urban's like, no. Like, I know that's your orders, but humanity can't really have this.
Yeah, we should just let it die here on the planet.
Yeah, he's like, let's just destroy it. Let's destroy the Ark. No one ever gets back. This thing dies here. Blah, blah, blah.
And this is where he gets a little out there now, Sarge.
Yeah, Sarge is losing it. Like, he's losing it. Like, people are starting to, like, not listen to him. He doesn't have any control over the situation, which is really getting to him. His guys are dying. He's got a mission that he apparently doesn't want to tell anybody about. So it starts to unravel for The Rock. So Carl Urban and The Rock, they go to leave, but it turns out the wall was destroyed. Something got through the Ark. Pinky's gone. No one knows where he is. He's just gone.
Oh, no.
And then Carl Urban gets back to Sam, and she tells Carl Urban that the reason this is so weird is because the monster chooses who to infect.
Yes.
Which I understand, because she just talked to them, and she found out all this shit in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and she knows for some reason it only affects people who are bad.
This is where I had a huge problem with this.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, well, apparently it must make some people superhuman and some people these creatures.
Right.
Depending on if they're good or bad. So dumb.
So the thing I didn't really understand is she was there. She was getting questioned about what was going on. She showed them the video of Carmack injecting it into a person, showing how they became the demon. And then Carl Urban and The Rock leave. They come back right away, and she's like, oh, yeah, by the way, in the last 5 minutes, I now know the monster chooses who to infect, and 10% of the human genome isn't even mapped, and that's what we kind of consider a soul, which I don't think that's true.
No, it's not. Plus, why is she fucking around with brain matter next to the detachable tongue? Like, why is she just doing that? Doing little fucking experiments here.
I don't know what her scientific discipline is. None of it matches. And then we get back to the Ark, and it's time to go back to Earth. So the kid is who's still kicking through this.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah.
The kid, Duke, and The Rock go through the Ark. They go back to Earth. They find everyone in that facility in Nevada has been killed.
Yeah. Now they have to kill the dead people.
Yeah. So something violent made it back. Apparently the elevator to the surface hasn't worked yet. So they still have a chance to quarantine this and get out. So The Rock just starts killing everybody.
Right.
Duke finds Pinky in a pile of corpses.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Which I thought was really funny. I'm like, dude, I'd absolutely be that guy. I would be that guy at the end of, who was it? I think it was Charlie Sheen at the end of Platoon.
Oh.
When the Viet Cong were coming through and basically steamrolling them all, he like hid in a foxhole and put a bunch of dead bodies on top of them. This is a thing that happens in a bunch of movies, but I would absolutely have been that guy.
Yeah, I'm not fucking around with demons.
No, especially unarmed. No. Especially when you see him just murder like 10 people in 2 seconds. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, if only they knew that it doesn't hurt good people.
I know, right? So the kid searching through this area, he finds a bunch of people just hiding in like this side room. And he's like, oh shit, we got to figure out a way to get you out of here. So they leave. He leaves. They go to The Rock, and The Rock was about to kill Pinky like right there and then, because he was still alive, I guess. And The Rock is supposed to quarantine, which means killing everyone.
He just wants to kill everyone so nobody can't get out.
Yep. And then The Rock's like, you need to go back to that room where all those people are hiding, and you need to kill all of them.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, no. And he's like, no, you're going to do it. And he's like, no, I'm absolutely not. And The Rock shoots him and kills him.
Yeah. Right. Like, does The Rock plan on killing himself after this so he can't even get out?
I don't know, because he says in the next line, he's like, that was mutiny. You all saw. No one around him is like fucking awesome. They were all like, what are you doing, you psycho?
Yeah.
And he's like, that was mutiny. And he's like, this is not going to be my last mission.
Oh, yeah. Because he's like, I'm supposed to live.
Yeah. So apparently he fully planned the entire time to get himself out.
Yeah.
And then Pinky pulls a gun on The Rock and is like, fuck you. I'm not like having you just kill me. You just killed one of your dudes, this guy. And then everyone's like looking. And then the only moment of like levity or comedy, Pinky goes, he's standing right behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, that was such a joke that didn't hit.
That was so inappropriate after the kid just got shot in the face and he had this huge dramatic moment. Like, this was not the time for that quip. That was 40 minutes ago when Porter died. That was the time for this. In the shitter, yeah, that was the time for that moment.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
And they all, yeah, because we all hate Porter. He's a scumbag.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so they go to the chase of the demon, and this is where in my notes, I just have a line that says, there are still 26 minutes left.
Yeah, I don't know how they got 26 minutes out of this.
It's so fucking slow. And then more people show up as zombies. Duke gets sucked into the floor and killed, like through a grate.
Yeah, that was pretty bloody. That was pretty neat.
The Rock is basically chasing them while fighting off demons, and he gets pulled through a nanodoor, and he even says, I'm not supposed to die.
Yeah, now that was supposed to be a joke too, I guess.
I don't know. It just seems like a whole lot of narcissism. You know what I mean? Like he feels like he's the hero in all of this.
Yeah.
Like, well, if I'm the hero, I'm not supposed to die.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to die yet.
That's kind of how I took it, but I guess it was supposed to be a joke. Again, not the appropriate time for jokes. They did honestly, and I'm trying to think, did they make any jokes like this before Pinky said they're right behind me? Like, were there any jokes at all?
No, it was all.
There was some like light-natured, like bro dude ribbing, but I wouldn't say anything was played for comedy. Maybe the monkey thing or the kid getting like spooked at the vent. Maybe, but that's even
too serious because it's all dark and dreary while they're there.
Yeah, it completely makes sense that he's like on edge and something like he heard a sound and just turned and shot. Like that makes sense. I'll buy that.
Right.
But yeah, again, there's no fucking comedy in it.
No, not at all.
Carl Urban and Sam survive. They get out. They're basically the last two alive, but Carl Urban took a ricochet off the wall and he's got shot. He's bad. Like it's not good. Out. And then Rosamund Pike, thinks it's a good idea that the only way we're going to save your life is if we inject you with C24. And she's like, you're not evil, right? Yeah. So you'll be fine.
Yeah. She's like, I know you. You're a good person. And we haven't seen a single specimen that took this or was bitten that turned into a superhero. But I think it'll work.
Where are the humans that took it and like, oh, this is great. Like the good people that turned into superheroes. There's no evidence that this is true. And you're also kind of implying that evil's genetic.
Yeah.
I guess.
Or at least that this alien species can sense it.
Or they have their own morality system.
Yeah, right.
I'm so confused about this. And by the way, none of this C24 goo bullshit was in any of the games. They just added this to the movie.
Yeah, this was just, it made no fucking sense. There's no hell anywhere. Though I think they call it hell once.
But he says like, this is hell, like metaphorically.
Yeah, exactly.
In the Doom games, especially the new one, for those of you out there, they go to hell. Like you fight demons in hell. They also come to Mars and you fight demons in Mars. Yeah. Demons from hell in Mars. It's fucking rad. There's all these metal music. Play those games. Just play those games. Yeah, they're fun.
They're so much better than this fucking shit.
So much better. So he's worried. He's like, I've done a lot of bad things. Like, are you sure? She's like, no, you're my bro. I know you.
Yeah.
This won't turn you into a disgusting demon.
No.
Inject. And then we have possibly the most famous sequence from the movie.
Oh my God. It was so.
It felt. Okay. So the sequence is Carl Urban looks into a mirror. And I thought it was a really neat transition because now he's looking in the mirror and the camera, like it takes a first person perspective.
Right. So now it's going to be like the game.
It's going to be just like the game. The gun's in the foreground, just like the game. It reloads just like the game. You're shooting through stuff. I thought that from a technical perspective, like a filmmaking perspective, I thought this was really neat.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the movie we're watching, it was too little too late. Like it felt like a gimmick. It felt hacky.
They should have at least done it one time before this, like just, I don't know, some type of action scene. But I guess there weren't any really.
Do you think? I think it might have worked if, and I'm just throwing out ideas here, but I think it might have worked if like we've had all these scenes of jump scares or like attacking other people.
Yeah, just do
So
those.
why didn't we throw a couple of those in the first person? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have made a lot of sense.
Or just like sequences of it. But apparently this scene took 14 days to shoot.
It was fucking like 3 minutes long.
Yeah, and it took them 14 days to shoot. It took 3 months of planning to get down how they were going to do it.
Just to show off the chainsaw for fucking 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. And this is also, so it goes in the first person. You have Carl Urban being superhuman guy. The demons are now running from him because apparently he's the biggest badass that ever lived. So
and they can sense that probably.
I guess.
I don't know.
And then the demon, Pinky, the demon version of him starts attacking you.
Yeah, which looks like a dog.
It does look like a dog. The fact was, for 2005, it was okay. It just, I don't know, this whole thing went on for way too long. But
sure did.
We get out of quote unquote rage mode, out of first person, and Carl Urban finds a plasma hole in the wall. Like I said, the BFG only shoots walls. Mm-hmm. So he finds Sam on the ground, barely conscious. The Rock is there, but now he has a neck wound. So he's a zombie or evil or something's taking him over right now.
Oh, yeah. I was like, did he make fucking Sam inject him with the same serum? I guess he did get bit in the neck, though.
Yeah, I assumed he got bit in the neck and he was turning. And he was already evil or like a bad dude, so it just kind of
so that's why
amplified that as he was changing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I love too in this moment. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, all those people that the kid found, I just went and killed them all."
Yeah, nice, thanks.
That wasn't necessary.
No,
but they're all dead. So the Rock is like, "Well, since all these demons are dead that you just killed, the quarantine's about to lift, and how about we just we put all this shit behind us. We be a couple of cool dudes. we just after this, we go get a beer."
Yeah, because that's what we'll do. We're friends now.
And then he's like, how many bullets you got left? And Carl Urban's like, none. How about you? He's like, 1. And then he shoots him with the BFG and fucking misses.
Oh, with the one bullet he had.
The gun, famous for killing everything in the room.
Right.
Automatically, no matter where the fucking thing is pointed, misses. I couldn't get over it. I could not get over this. There was an intense, I've written here an intense hide and seek moment. This final battle, they were fighting. They got a little separated. There was a little cat and mouse with The Rock and Carl Urban.
Yeah. And they both had superpowers at this point.
They both had evil and good superpowers or whatever. And then they're like, you know what? Let's just fucking punch it out. So they take off all their belts and start punching. I wrote in my notes, fuck, I was done with this movie an hour ago.
Yeah, right.
The Rock does the ultimate street fight move. He takes a metal pole and he has superpowers, So he takes this rebar and bends it around his arm and then around his fist, making like a super fucking rebar fist.
Yeah, that's what I do. Fucking A, man.
And then they fight around. Eventually, Carl Urban gets the upper hand. He basically starts the arc. He kicks the demon Rock through the arc. Finally, we get a grenade.
Oh, we get to see what happens with the grenade. Yes.
Fucking finally. So he pulls a grenade, sends it through the arc, pops out the other side. The Rock sees it and is like, oh shit. It blows up, I guess, the entire fucking facility.
We don't know because it just became a white light.
Yeah, if that's the strength of these grenades, no one should have these in this facility, especially on Mars.
Yeah.
Like, it's too overkill. It's the same reason why none of the guys have like rocket launchers. Like, where are you going to use that?
Yeah, in a small enclosed facility.
More damage than it's worth.
Right. It's more for like suicide moves, I guess.
Yes, but so Carl Urban, he's holding Sam, who's either dead or unconscious. You assume unconscious, but he's going up the elevator. He goes, almost home. End of game. End of movie. End of bullshit.
Play 9 Inch Nails and roll the credits.
Yep, you gotta have 9 Inch Nails, I guess. Man, so
oh my god,
there were so many things wrong with this movie.
Yeah,
I was really surprised. The thing, and I feel like the biggest sin, we've said it several times, but I really want to hammer this home. It was just boring.
It was so boring.
It was so boring. And then by the time the action showed up, you were like, can we just wrap this up?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the final fight scene was earned at all. I mean,
no.
Was The Rock there to get the chromosome, or was he there just to get the data about it? Why did this exist? How does no one back home know about this? I guess they must have, because it's like a company thing and they're trying to protect the company. You know?
So they're just being paid to keep it under wraps, kill everybody, so none of this information gets out. That's what I assumed.
Just, yeah. Which I get it. And I don't remember what they said, but is it common knowledge that this thing exists, or is it like super secret?
I'd assume it would have been like worldwide news when they found it.
Right. But I assume that they didn't. I have to assume they didn't tell anybody. Like, no one except the government knows about this.
Yeah.
Because when the soldiers get back there, they're telling, like, they're giving the intro to all the soldiers. But some of them had already been through the Ark.
Yeah, because it's like everyone knows about the Ark. At least the soldiers do. And like Rookie's like, oh, we got to go through the Ark, man. I've been hearing about it. Never seen it before.
I think it would stand to reason that the rapid response whatever team, I think the vibe I got, I could be completely wrong, but I think they were mostly just like security guards, or like it's kind of like the same way we see of like firemen. Like they're there if shit goes down, but most of the time they're really just kind of getting ready, hanging out, training, cleaning the fucking fire truck, whatever they do. But when time to action, you're glad they're there. So I got the vibe that they were stationed there, and but that doesn't make sense, because then Carl Urban's like, they're like, you should sit this one out.
Yeah, because they had to fly to the Ark too.
That's right. I'm trying to figure out what the connection is here.
They're just Marines. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Are they military?
They are Marines, because they say Semper Fi and Hooga or whatever.
Oh, that's right. And Rock has this fucking Semper Fi tattoo.
Yeah.
And Rosamund Pike gives her brother shit for being a Marine rather than a scientist.
Right.
So yeah, I guess you're right.
I guess it's military.
Yeah, I thought, because I remember I hadn't played Doom 3 much at this time. I still haven't played it very much. I hear it's very good, but Doom to me is demons, explosions,
one-man army,
nar, just crazy shit going on at all times.
Yeah.
And this was like a slow burn.
You know what? This is the only thing I can make any sense out of this.
Okay, I'd love to hear it.
Carl Urban is Doom Guy. And this is his origin story of how he becomes a fucking demon slayer, a super powered guy.
Maybe. Sure, I'll buy that. I don't see anything against that.
Because all they ever fight is the imps and the zombie men, which are all like first level shit in Doom. They fight one pinky and that's about it.
That's interesting. I didn't put that together.
Yeah, because you don't see a single Kako demon or flying skull or anything.
Yeah, where the fuck were the flying skulls, guys? Where were they?
You need a Kako demon, first off.
Yeah, and is that that can't be the
eyeball thing with the floating head.
Oh yes, of course. That one, I was thinking of the spider.
Oh, the boss of Doom 1.
Yeah, with the machine guns and the brain.
Yeah. Where the fuck was that? At least, like, show a hint of it or something.
It's like they wanted to put it, like, cement it in reality.
Yeah.
And I didn't need that for a Doom movie. I didn't need a slow, meditative, hey guys, there might be something wrong here. We know there's something fucking wrong there.
We came to Doom to watch Doom.
We came to Doom to watch Carnage, and you're like, well, let's tease this out for the audience. They don't know what we're getting into here with the demons. Like, who was this made for?
Like people who don't know anything about Doom?
That's what I thought. Like, it was just basically an action movie. Like,
Yeah.
you could have taken off the name Doom, maybe changed the monsters a little bit, and this could have just been any action movie.
You didn't even have to change the monsters because they were just zombie creatures. So
That's a good point.
like it felt like it was already a movie, but they needed more money, so they tweaked a little bit here and there to put a BFG in it, and that's it.
Yeah, and call the guy Doom Guy and fucking Sarge instead of whatever their stupid fucking names are.
And they really wanted to do that first person thing, so.
Yeah, I remember when this movie was being talked about and actually going to come out, because apparently there was a bit of development hell here.
Yeah.
After the success of Doom 2 and everyone saw how popular it was, they were like, well, let's make a movie out of this.
Yeah, so they probably like picked one from a fucking list of scripts they had and tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah, apparently they took 10 years. They had a bunch of shitty scripts. They had signed a deal or had a deal with, I think, Universal. And then Universal said, okay, we will give you the rights, Time Warner, but the deal is you need to make a movie in a year. And it never happened. So,
Really?
So they just reverted back to Universal. And I mean, I don't know. I think there's a good movie in here somewhere. But
Yeah.
I think we got to ditch the chromosome thing, which I understand that makes sense of how he became a badass and Doom Guy and could fight The Rock. But we didn't need any of that. We didn't need him to be a superhero because, we don't need crazy Rock. I mean, The Rock is intimidating enough being a psycho and shooting his own dudes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it could have just been Carl Urban shooting him. Boom. That's it. He didn't have to fucking fist fight him.
Yeah, that was so fucking stupid. And that was a long scene.
Yeah, it was a long ass fight. It was like the last 15 minutes, I swear to God.
It was. I'm just reading more trivia. Apparently, Mac was the only character to die without firing a shot. And remember when we said Mac died? He was the second person to die. That was 50 minutes into the movie.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, what do you think about the characters? What are your thoughts?
I thought they were pretty much generic army people. You got the one wacky guy with fucking Portman. Mm-hmm. You got the main guy who was Reaper, Urban. And the bad Sarge, that's classic. And then you have people you don't even fucking remember. I don't remember Goat or Destroyer. They were nobodies. And the kid.
Goat was on screen a lot, but he had very little lines. And the only thing that was part of his character was he's very religious.
Yeah, he was the only one who was talking about hell and shit.
Yeah, it was. And then we don't even go.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid.
Yeah, I think the characters were just like either cliche or boring.
Yeah, very generic.
I mean, I liked Carl Urban. I think his performance was good enough where he didn't feel like just like the other guys felt like just random generic army guys, and he didn't. He felt like he had his own personality.
Yeah, he was definitely the main guy.
I mean, it might have been just the fact that you humanized him by bringing his sister along board, but
yeah, show that he has emotions.
Yeah, everybody else was terrible. I did read about the critical reception of this movie, and basically they said, oh man, if you like video games, you'll like this, but regular, intelligent people, not video games who were intelligent, but that was kind of the vibe. They're like, oh, these idiot children who love video games, they'll love this video game movie, but it's really not for anybody else.
It's not for anybody at all.
No, I mean, even whether you're making a video game movie, an animation, if you're making a prestige film, whatever you're doing, the movie has to be good. Like,
yeah, first and foremost.
It has to be fun to watch at least, or I have to learn something by the end. Like, there has to be something going on, not just nonsense for an hour and 45 minutes. And then they treated it so seriously. This was taken very seriously.
It was, dude.
Man, this is a bad movie.
It is.
Was there anything good? Is there anything good? Is there anything you liked about it?
Yeah, the nano walls. Fucking neat as hell.
The nano walls were pretty cool.
And there's a scene where they see a bunch of hearts pumping by themselves in jars. That's pretty cool, too.
Yeah, like, that's what I was going to say, too, basically. The effects. Like, the demons looked good.
Yeah. They did good jobs of making the imps.
Didn't look like the games, but whatever. They still looked menacing. They looked tall. They looked crazy.
Yeah, and in the games, they threw fire, so that was missing.
Apparently, Stan Winston did the effects on this one. So, heavy hitter effects guy. They wanted to shoot a whole bunch of the scenes as practically as many as they could, but it wasn't. There were still so many special effects shots.
Yeah,
like hundreds.
It had to be though.
So
yeah. Is that all you liked about it too? Just the fucking effects that weren't?
I'm trying to think. I wish I could have told you Rosamund Pike was good, but she was meh.
Yeah, she was generic too.
I think she would have been helped with some better writing.
Yeah.
But I did like how she wasn't just the woman to be saved. No, you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't just the damsel in distress. She was a smart scientist who dropped very important knowledge on them.
And had her own agenda.
Was very attached to the story and the group. I do like how she had the attachment to Carl Urban, but again, it should have been the ex. Like, they should have just made it that.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have felt anything for, what's his name, Duke, when he was trying to hit on her and dies at the end. He would have been like, oh, fuck, he almost had her.
I think that would have been fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they could have made that dialogue, they could have punched it up to be more fun as Duke is hitting on her less, because Duke really like goes for it. Like, he's aggressive.
Yeah, he is.
Like, I think if they would have made him a little bit more like Ryan Reynolds charming-ish.
Oh yeah, then you would have definitely been cheering for him at the end.
And then Rosamund Pike could have been like, well, I'm not dating that asshole anymore. Maybe.
Yeah. And then they do him evil by just pulling him through a fucking grate in the ground.
I know, that was lame. At least Mac got his whole head taken off. You're like, holy shit, cool.
Yeah, didn't even see it coming. Didn't feel a thing.
Yeah, but I mean, the effects were good. I think Carl Urban was the best he could have been.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really was outstanding. I don't think The Rock.
Rock was not a good actor in this.
No, he was still learning. I mean, I don't know if he's still. I don't know how to put it, and I don't want to sit here and just shit on The Rock, but I really don't think he's that good of an actor, but he's found his lane. He's much better than he was, for sure, but he found like a character archetype he could play, and he's very good at doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't see The Rock having the same, like, meditative, thought-provoking, interesting roles like Dave Bautista has had.
Yeah, he's more of a fun time, laugh.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to make motherfucking money. I'm going to star in movies. I am going to make tequila. I'm gonna be the brand. And Dave Bautista's like, well, I'm gonna give this acting thing a shot. Like, I'm gonna try to be an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
And he does. He's been in some really amazing movies, like Blade Runner 2. He was fucking fantastic. He was phenomenal in that. He was only in it for a little bit, but he was great. Like, he's really good. Like, a really good actor, Dave Bautista. It's kind of like overshadowed because he's Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and he's a little silly in those.
Yeah, he's silly in other stuff too.
Yeah, he was silly in, what was the one with Kumail Nanjiani? Wasn't
Stuber.
he a movie? Stuber, yeah. He was in Stuber. So, he's trying to get his bag too. But I still think he's a way better actor just overall than The Rock. But The Rock, puts asses in seats.
The Rock couldn't play Batista's role in Knock at the Cabin.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, well, he's like super serious, weird, religious.
Is he good?
Yeah, he does a good job. But I couldn't see The Rock playing something like serious like that.
No, that's the thing. Like, I can't see him being in, like, I don't know, what was a prestige movie? I don't even know any of them these days.
No idea.
He's not going to be in Call Me By Your Name. Let's say that.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
He's not going to be in any of those. He's just going to be in summer blockbusters.
Yeah, like San Andreas or Rampage or something.
Yeah, which the ones that cost like 60, 70 million to make, they make 200 million. Everybody's happy. We forget about him in a year.
Yeah, exactly. That's Rock for you.
Yeah, exactly. He comes in, makes the money, leaves. Do you think the world's getting tired of The Rock?
I think so. I think we've had enough. I don't know. If it's an act, well, he's just gotten Black Adam. I don't think any.
Yeah, but I heard he was really not great in that. Like, they're not going to make more. It was a kind of a flop.
Yeah, well, it was.
Okay, let me rephrase. Like, when I say the world's tired of The Rock, I mean, like, tired of him just churning out mediocre to fine action movies, quote unquote blockbusters like San Andreas or Rampage or stuff like that.
Right. Like, he should go the way of Jim Carrey or something.
With The Rock, you know what you're getting. And if you're on board, you're on board.
Yeah, he's a lot smaller in this movie than he is now, too.
Yeah. I think G.I. Joe was the one where he's like, I should get as ripped as possible.
Yeah, right.
Then just never stopped.
It's an addiction now.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's a few very small good things going on here. If you absolutely know nothing about Doom, you're probably just going to be led into a boring action movie, but it wouldn't be, I don't think it'd be terrible.
No,
But there's just so many people that have done it better.
Yeah. It's kind of like a space horror, but
I swear to you, I forgot they were on Mars.
yeah.
Because they're in this facility the whole time. They never go outside. They only show them outside the window once.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be another imposing thing. Like, they're in the haunted house. They're in one area. They're stuck with the monster. They can't just walk outside and run away.
Yeah, it might as well have been on a fucking spaceship.
Yeah, it's just, it didn't feel like that. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like we were ever on Mars. Like, when they got back to Earth and had the big throwdown, I was like, oh shit, they are on Earth. Because both those sets look the same. I think it might have been the same set.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I did read, we'll finish up on a fun piece of trivia. So Edgar Wright and Nick Frost, who at this point had just been in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright, who is the director and writer of Shaun of the Dead. He and, why am I blanking on his name? Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
They both wrote Shaun of the Dead. They were asked to come in and punch up the dialogue, and they both refused.
They could have definitely made the jokes at least hit a little better.
I think, and I don't know anything about the process. I don't know anything about what they said. I don't know anything about their careers of doing punch-ups. But I think maybe the process was they got the script, they looked at it and said, we can punch this up, but we're going to have to make major fucking changes.
Yeah. Or they're just like, this isn't Doom. Fuck you.
Yeah. Or like, this isn't savable. Or like, our quips will just make people angry. Or like this. Or just like, I don't know. Why would you ask them to do it? Like, this is a very serious movie, and Shaun of the Dead was all comedy. I mean, there were some great horror movie moments in it, sure, but it was mostly comedy. Sense. So why would you ask them? Why wouldn't you ask someone like, I don't know, that's been doing action movies around this time? I don't even know what action movie. It doesn't matter. Let's wrap this up.
All right.
So yeah, final thoughts. I would say skip it.
Yeah, avoid it.
The more of a fan you are of Doom, the more you're going to dislike this.
Yes, I'll agree with that too.
If you're really bored and you like bad action movies and Carl Urban, sure, give it a shot. I'm not going to tell you what to do at your free time.
Yeah.
But do you have any final thoughts? You want to leave these people with any good advice, thoughts, feelings about this fucking bullshit movie?
Yeah, just skip it and play the games. A lot better. A lot fucking better.
Yeah, I would say play the games. They're just a billion times better. They're fun. They're exciting. There's all kinds of gore and crazy shit. You're never bored.
Right.
I was bored this entire time.
Yeah. I almost fell asleep watching it. It's ridiculous.
I was just sitting there like looking at I told you off air I checked the clock like 3 times.
Yeah. So if you're ever dreading something, like say you have a dentist appointment and you really don't want to go and it's 2 hours away, watch this movie. It feels like you get an extra 6 hours of time.
Absolutely. That's a great advice. That's the perfect application for this movie. But all right, so we'll roll out. That does it for us. If someone has an email and they want to talk to us and they want to like write an email to us with words and thoughts and feelings, where would they send that to, Sir Chump Slap?
Well, you send that to plottytime@gmail.com. And if you want to get us on the socials, I think we still have an Instagram at plottytime. And check out the Reddit too while you're at it.
We sure do. And I mostly look at the Instagram often. So if you send a message on there, we'll respond. You can also go to YouTube, like, subscribe there. It really helps us out. You can also go to our eBay store, plottytime.com. We'll take you right to it. You can buy some shit. It'll be great.
Yeah.
But that does it for us. We will continue with the regularly scheduled programming next week. But until then, don't ever trust Dr. Scientists. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Peace.